We're going to get the very latest on these new developments now from Beirut with France 24 correspondent Rawad Taha. Rawad, first of all, what kind of reaction has there been there to the death of Salah al-Arouri?
We've seen first the formal reaction of the Lebanese government. Caretaker Prime Minister Najib Mikati has issued a statement shortly after the attack, in which he condemned what he called this Israeli aggression on Lebanese territory. Shortly after that, in the late evening hours of Tuesday night, Hezbollah issued its own statement, out of which it also condemned the attack and mentioned in that official Hezbollah statement that there will be a retaliation to the assassination of Arouri, which took place in Beirut's southern suburb, which is a Hezbollah stronghold. Other Lebanese political parties and political figures have been calling for constraint while also condemning Israel. So we're looking at the next few hours to days, which will be very likely important over what could developments be on Lebanon's southern border.
Indeed. And the leader of Hezbollah is due to speak a little later today at 5 p.m. local time. What could we expect from that?
So this was an already scheduled speech for Secretary General of Hezbollah, Hassan Nasrallah. He's expected to speak later today. However, another thing to point is that Hezbollah just announced that Nasrallah will also be speaking on Friday evening. So ever since October 7, we haven't seen Nasrallah speaking often. We're looking at two speeches within a span of 2 days. So he's speaking this afternoon and also on Friday. As I mentioned before, today's speech was already scheduled ahead of the assassination. So now everyone is waiting to see whether today's speech will have a lot of content that will actually reflect on what Hezbollah's next steps could be, or that could also possibly be delayed to Friday in the speech that was just scheduled a moment ago.
Rawad, a Hamas source has said that Arouri was also the link between Hamas, Iran, and Hezbollah. Break that down a bit more for us, if you will. What more can you tell us about that?
So Arouri is one of the leading figures who worked on the reconciliation between Hamas and Hezbollah and the Syrian regime. So as we know for a fact that the relationship between Hamas and the Syrian regime, Iran and Hezbollah, slightly deteriorated since the start of the Syrian uprising or the Syrian civil war in 2011. However, Arouri was one of the leading figures which worked on the reconciliation between the two organizations and the Syrian regime, and of course, Iran as well. So he was a key focal point of the relationship between Hamas and Hezbollah. And this is why Hamas officials and Hamas supporters expect a retaliation from Hezbollah in particular on the death of Arouri, not just because the assassination happened in Hezbollah's stronghold of Beirut's southern suburb, but because of the relationship of Arouri himself with Hezbollah and with the Iranian axis as a whole. One thing to also keep in mind is that sources close to Hezbollah have told Lebanese media and local Arab media that there will be a retaliation to the assassination of Arouri. However, it will be a calculated retaliation because, as the sources mentioned, that Hezbollah is claiming that Israel is trying to drag Lebanon into this war, and this last assassination is one of the attempts. However, Hezbollah does not want to drag Lebanon to a full-scale war, according to what their sources are telling local and Arab media. So, as I mentioned, the next few hours and the next few days will be very crucial.